whatever, and the family praying together there. That's a good image, yeah.
No pictures hanging on the wall.
Huh?
No pictures hanging on the wall.
Yes, no pictures hanging on the wall. Pictures meaning pictures of people, right? Huh? A prayer mat, yes.
Maybe a Quran or a shop.
Quran in a stand somewhere, yes. Anything else?
The family having dinner and the mother is very appropriate,
Yeah. Yes. A family setting of preparing dinner, offering dinner, and everybody eating together and dressed in an Islamic way. This is the symbols of the Islamic home. Because I mean, a home is a home in general. The issue is just what do we put in that home, what symbols and signs we can put in the home which will strike the child as being a Muslim home. Because what happens if you just go to the bookstore, you just try to find a picture of a home. I mean, the home usually will be some Western home. You know, maybe very modern, very stylish, very whatever, but then there are no signs of Islam in there. That's what we don't want. We want whatever we put up there should have some message being given. A moon. Well, watch out for the moon. You know, the crescent, watch out for the moon. This moon crescent, the crescent, which has become, you know, a big enough symbol that we stick it on top of our mosques and it's in the flags of many Muslim countries. Actually, it is not an Islamic symbol. You know, we have used it, it's like, you know, the red cross and the red crescent. You know, we have used it as an alternative to the cross. And the cross and the crescent, you know. But really, it has created in the minds of people, you know, some attachment to an object really which has no specific Islamic significance. Beyond the fact that the month starts with the crescent moon and it ends with the crescent moon. That's it. It's just when we're looking to find out when the month starts, this is when it has a place. But to say as a symbol of Islam, and that's what it's become. Actually, this is a bid'ah. Because today, if a Christian were to throw a crescent on the ground and stamp on it, the country would be up in arms. You know? Just as if we were to take a cross, throw it on the ground, and we stamp on it, the Christians would be up in arms. But it's not right. Yeah, the Christians can be up in arms because it has that kind of significance to them. But for us, the crescent means nothing. You can break it, throw it, bend it, do whatever you want with it. It has nothing really to do with Islam. Anyway, anything else? Huh? Yeah, the du'as for entering the home and the bathroom and the things of the home, yeah, it could, but it's a little difficult to show that in a picture, you know, unless you show people walking into the home, for example, and then you put, you know, the dua there. Okay, the teacher demonstrates to the children a chart of kitchen utensils and introduces a verse from the Quran about utensils. Surah An-Naba. The students, in terms of activities, they recite the ayah after her. Okay, with the meaning, no harm. That is principle 3. The teacher introduces a hadith in drinking. لا يشربن أحدكم قائما. that it is preferable not to drink standing. This is the hadith, principle number 4. Discourage them from, this is Islamic etiquette. Huh?
That can go in the water lesson.
That could go in the water lesson also, yes. Yeah. And this is where, when the teachers get together, you'll be able to share what each teacher, each school has come up with and find the best and, etc. So as little kids, just repeating after the teacher, they've included that in the teaching activities. Huh? Of course, this drinking standing is not actually, it's not haram. It is preferable not. Right? You have to make that clear. Huh? Is there anything else we could add to that class? Right? This was the home. Anything else from our principles? Well, I think in this case here, what's not mentioned here, but what I would say is that you're dealing with KG3. KG3. The kids love stories. A story should be there. If you can write a story as a KG3 teacher, and you should be creative. You should be able to put together a little story for them. And in that story, you bring your moral message there in the story. So I would say try to introduce a story with a moral message.
Helping around the home,
Helping around the home, yes. Something like this. Or there's so many others, which are because we're dealing with the home. So the home and the things connected to the home. So let the story be about the home. So it's a relevant story. What else could be done? Yeah, a rhyme. For that age, rhymes are very important. So some rhyme developed around the utensils, because since that's one of the key things, what you use each utensil for. This is where a certain amount of creativity needs to be introduced. I'm sure amongst the teachers there are some poets. Some people who like to write poetry, like to write. So once you are into writing poetry, then writing rhymes and things like this becomes very easy for you. So this is what you need to beef up that KG, lower KG, to produce more rhymes, to maybe even get some nasheed artists to do it for them so they can, in a song fashion, they can sing it, whatever, without musical instruments. Inshallah. Okay? Where are we? 23. Okay. Oh, this is 2 plus 2 equals 4. We already did this one. Okay. And if you look at it, this was standard 3. This is Unity School in Chennai, India. Right? Starting with the Basmala images, Islamic images, principle 2, invention of Arabic numbers. The numerals that they're learning, they're called Arabic numerals. You can show them how 2, for example, in Arabic is just turning the Arabic 2 on its side. That's where the 2 came from. And the 3, and so on and so forth. So that provides your principle 2, historical relevance. Principle 3, Allah stated Do prayer regularly to remember me. Right? Okay, so this is a point here. If one prays 2 rak'ats, it's again 2 plus 2 equals 4. Of sunnah, of fajr, and 2 rak'at of fard. What is the total number of rak'ats that you prayed? 4. There was 2 plus 2 equals 4 Islamically. Principle 4. The Prophet ﷺ had 3 daughters and 3 sons. How many do they have in total? Because 2 plus 2 includes, when you're teaching that class, you're teaching 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4, all of those. Huh? So here, again, put into an Islamic context. Moral message: the kid with the 2 reals, or 2 naira. And the further moral message at the bottom: Allah's oneness, 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, not 1. Okay, that concludes the presentation of some samples of lesson plans from different parts of the world and how they have been Islamized. Inshallah, how much time has elapsed here now?
Quarter to 12.
Huh?
We take a break.
Yeah, okay. We can go into the break. After the break, we'll come back with your lesson plans. You got them? Good. All right. Before we do that, anybody has any questions or comments on what we've done so far? Please, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm Hajar Sani Muhammad from Usra Academy. My question is this: sometimes in class we get carried away and we make up stories that are not even true to get their attention. So my question here is this: is it really permissible for us to create stories that are not true so that we can get their attention and then for them to pass the point we are trying to make?
Up stories and presenting them as truth, then this is not permissible. But if we are making a story which we have explained to them, this is a story, then it is permissible to illustrate a point in story form. Further comment or question?
My name is Zainab Muhammad from Alamana Academy. At times, children do certain kind of behavior that is not right or conducive, that you keep telling them that it's not right. And I know that they like stories, so I do tell them stories that is not real, but from what they have done. And I'll give different names because I don't want them to feel as if I am saying what they've done in front of someone and everyone, and they will feel bad. So I'll give other names and then I'll say whatever that issue that they have done to make them understand that it's not right. And then I'll tell them, okay, this child A and child B, which one did the right thing and which one did the bad thing, and they will all say this one and that one. I say, okay, so are you going to do this or that? Then they will choose the other. And all this I told them is from the action that they have been doing in class, just to correct what they've done. So is it okay?
This is okay. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to use this, when correcting in public individuals. He would speak about one who does so and so, without pointing out that particular individual, etc. So this is permissible. Further question?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Doctor, I didn't know what is the advice for us. Some of our pupils and students in the school, we are trying to Islamize everything about them. And part of the way we Islamize them is writing on the boards and also compelling them to also write on their notes anytime they copy notes, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, but there is this challenge maybe when they are writing their WAEC or external examination, some of the people that mark these papers are not Muslims. So when they see them write Bismillah ar-Rahman, even if the content of the question or the answers are okay, they feel very aggrieved about it and say, what nonsense is this? So what do you advise?
Them not to write it in their examinations, because it's not compulsory, it's not a requirement. It's a good thing, but if it's going to bring harm to them, then it's not worth it. If Prophet Muhammad ﷺ agreed to have the title Messenger of Allah removed from the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, then surely we can let Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim go.
Assalamu alaikum. My question is, when we're Islamizing lesson plans and we're applying one of the principles, are we required to indicate that we're applying a particular principle, or we can just apply it and not indicate?
The indication is only for us, to keep track of, trying to introduce all 5 if possible, right? And for review purposes. But in general, it's not required. This is how we have taught it, so that you are aware and conscious to try to introduce each and every one that's possible. So it's not a requirement, we can say that. It's not a requirement to include it there. Will come out of our gathering. Committee of heads of the school, principals, etc., which will be the Islamization of Curriculum Committee for Kaduna. If they decide that it is better to put the principal in, because at the end of the year when we sit down, it's easier to see, did you do or you didn't do? For that purpose, maybe we can say, fine. But technically speaking, it's not a requirement. We just look at the benefit. If it is something beneficial which would help in the end, because we have to think in terms of what's our goal. Our goal is next year, end of the year, we sit down, go over the lesson plans. It is much easier to see, okay, did somebody get in principle 1? Did we get somebody else? No, we didn't get it. So and so. Principle 5, yes, we got it. It's much easier for us to sift and combine. Sister, India.
My name is Fatima Bakar from Alamana Academy. To answer my brother's question, I think what we need to do as teachers is to make these children believe in the power of Bismillah, and to teach the children to seek whatever action they're going to take. Because we should be also concerned with where these answer sheets are going. They could be trampled upon or used to clean and so many dirt and so on. So we should teach them to accept that as Muslims we need to say Bismillah in whatever we're doing. I think that's it. We don't have to write it in our notes, especially if they're going out.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
an offered solution. The basmala, we need to know that it is a recommendation, because we don't want the child to feel, I didn't say Bismillah, I'm now in what? Calamity, Allah is not happy with me. So we don't want to take it into the realm of obligation and sin. So we encourage Bismillah. There is reward if you say it. Not you must say it. Because they are very impressionable and it can affect them negatively. So we stress the reward which comes in saying it. Inshallah.
The sister just said, regarding secondary school students who write national exams, I think you can teach them all that has to do with Islam all the way to their last year. Then their last year you can give them all the orientation they need to write the exams. You can tell them what is needed in the exams, and you can tell them the things that if they do might unify the exams. Perhaps with that they will take care of all that you are afraid of. And number two, I don't know, there was an attempt that we did in the past of coming up with a book on social habits, a book that has to do with morals. We thought of doing so, looking at the need for morals for students and looking at the provisions of the curriculum. There's nothing like that, so we said let's come up with a book on morals. And we thought of coming up with etiquettes on all the things that children need models in, etiquettes in going into the toilet, coming out, etiquettes in sitting in the classroom, etiquettes on playground, etiquettes, so many things. Instead of putting together all the things that a Muslim child needs. And we've done something, although the work is not concluded. I don't know how you recommend that effort, plus this that we are doing now. With this, we are trying to see that in every subject we come up with something that has to do with morals. There we thought of coming up with a book of morals that will put together everything. Of course, there's a difference between the two. In this, you know, when you come to a point, you need to search for something for the point. On that, you put together all that you need. How do you recommend our one effort in the first place?
I believe that is a very commendable plan and effort. Inshallah, we hope to see it published, because definitely it will benefit educational institutions, schools, etc. It will save the teacher a lot of research. It's just like our 1001 inventions, where if you come up with a book on etiquette for children, Islamic etiquette, something of that nature. So it becomes like a dictionary. You can do it in a dictionary format, so it's easy search. Because if you just put it, maybe you can find some other format. But this is what I would suggest: if it's done in a dictionary way, alphabetically, so it's easy for people to use it as a reference work. Right. Inshallah. Further comment or question? Okay, inshallah we'll break here now. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. 15 minutes, or as close to 15 as possible. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be on the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and on all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. Now this is the 5th session, and this is a workshop dedicated to your lesson plans and to seeing how we can implement the 5-point lesson plan Islamization principle in your material as a practical example that we can all learn from. Unfortunately, the material which was sent in, because it was done in notebooks, it makes it very, very clumsy to try to do it and look at it here. I mean, we'll try something, but at least some were sent as documents. Those that were sent as documents were more easily worked with. So I'm going to do the first two which came as documents. I don't know if we had some more, whoever made this preparation, were there some more documents that we had?
He's asking.
Others were given to us as documents besides the first two that we had? There are other documents? Okay, so let me go through these first two, and then you can pull up some other documents, because it's much easier to work with. The others which are in notebooks, it's flipping pages, and pages are going small and big, and they have to be enlarged, and it's just a lot of confusion to try to look at it effectively. Anyway, if we look at this from Amana Academy, P2 means what? Primary 2. Okay. Week 11, first term. Okay, the course is science. And the focus of the lesson, or the lesson, is on flower parts, right? Plant parts, specifically flowers. So there is no mention of any kind of Islamization here, so it's like it's raw. This is a raw lesson plan. So we can now make notes as to how we were going to go about this. So the objective was to know the functions of the flower, a plant, resources, 100 science lessons. This is a book, a textbook you must have in your library, I guess. And success criteria. The student must know what that a green flowering plant has 6 parts. So it's the parts, not just flowers, right? Should mention the function of the flower in flowering plants. That's the should. And could draw a flower. Okay, so principle 1, which is the classroom environment, right? What aids, visual, oral, physical aids, Islamic aids we can use to illustrate the parts of a plant, and in particular the flowers. We can develop some pictures of flowers which are around a masjid or around some other place of Islamic, in the community, for example. If there's some area which is known, an Islamic area, you can use that. Pictures of flowers and plants in general. We give it an Islamic flavor by the location that the flower is put, right? The flower could also even be in a home, in a vase or whatever. So this is now creative. You do your search images on Google, flower, try to find something, or you have to create something. Your art department should help you. That's number 1 in terms of the images in the class for this particular class. The second, that of historical relevance. What would we look for? Anybody has an idea? Huh?
using scientists that have worked both in moving companies.
Botany, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, again, this is our 1001. We look for Muslim scholars, scientists of the past who spoke on botany and in particular who did works which are related to plants, flowering, plants, flowers, etc. You know, we do some research with that. Huh?
About medicinal plants or as the prophet discussed,
Medicinal?
by the prophet uses some useful plants as the prophet sometimes.
Okay, but if we're talking about principle number one, principle number two is going principle by principle. So principle number two was historical.
Yes. As in what's that book called?
Simple Nabawi?
Yes. Can it come under that?
That's, I think, a bit more general, you know? Huh? Yeah. But I'm saying we're dealing with plants and flowers. We don't want to go too far away from the actual topic. Go ahead.
We will make the students understand that the inventor of gardens is from 1001 Islamic infection. He's a Muslim. I can't really remember his name. But the first inventor of
Gardening.
Yes,
Mm.
Muslim. So I don't have the name.
Yes, okay. This is again showing what Muslims have done in regards to gardening, because flowering plants connected to gardening, though the topic then is still not actually gardening. Right? We're still dealing with plants and the flowering parts. The idea is to try to stick as close as we can to our topic. You know, if we can't get something in, it doesn't mean we need to stretch it and pull something from anywhere, anyhow. Okay, we don't have to go to extreme in this, because the 5 pillars are not written in stone, right? These 5 principles. So if you're not able to get, a principle in, don't worry about it. You move on to the next, you try to get what you can. So following that, the 3rd principle was the Quranic verse about flowers. And there are a number of verses in the Quran referring to them. So this you just pull up from Google or from your Mu'jam, verses regarding the flowers. And for the hadith, okay, if we have some flowers which are used medicinally, mentioned in the Quran, for example, or for example even black seed, which may come from the plant, from a flowering plant, this type of thing, you can make a brief mention of that. What is known well from the Quran. And then we have the purpose, right? The course, the class discusses the different parts of the plant and the variety of colors, and one of the things that we find in the Quran where Allah speaks about, various stories. There was another person who traveled in the Quran, Dhul Qarnayn,